Columbus Day storm was a hurricane.
That was a storm back in 1962 that was like one of the biggest storms that we had, and it caused a lot of damage.
On the day of the hurricane, I was sick. I didn't go to school that day because of illness.
It was dark, and it seemed to me like it was eternity. On the day of the storm, I remember waking up in the morning and going to school. At that point, we had no idea that there was a storm coming, at least the kids didn't. I don't know if the adults did or not.
I first noticed the storm when the windows started to bow in. We had this big picture window in the front room, and when the wind blowed, it would bend in.
I remember the teachers coming in and talking about a storm that was coming our way that was supposed to hit in the later afternoon, and then shortly after that they came in and said they were going to release us early from school, a couple hours, so that we could get home and prepare.
Well, when the storm hit, I wasn't really sure what was going on. I was home alone, so I just kind of got nervous. Both my parents were out working, the rest of the guys were at school. So I just watched TV until the electricity went out. But 20 minutes later, school bus pulled up. The other kids came home. That kind of relaxed me. So my cousin who lived with us, Joey, and I decided that we'd have a little sport. So we took our bicycles and some big gunny sacks, and we made sails out of them. And we went sailing in the storm. The only problem is we didn't realize that sailing with it was fun, but trying to get back was a lot of work because we're walking against winds up to
100-mile-an-hour winds. I remember putting my hands out, and at that time the wind was getting pretty strong that it was hard to walk, and it was getting a little scary, so we went in.
My mother came home first, and she made Joey and I come in, stop playing in the storm. And she noticed that the telephone pole in front of her house was starting to lean, and she was afraid that the pole would fall into the house. So she made all of us kids get into the car and sit out in the car in the driveway.
We stayed out in the car because I was afraid the electric pole would fall over. And when their dad got home, he had trouble getting home because all the roads were blocked with trees falling down. He had to come home go around on the freeway and come home. And when he got home, we all went in the house.
I remember starting out in the living room, and then it got so strong with the wind, we were scared the window was going to come out.
The front window, this big giant picture window, was starting to really bow in. It would actually come in like 4 to 5 inches. You could just see it. It'd be like a bubble coming in. So he made us go to our bedrooms where he thought it'd be safer, because if that would have came in, it would shatter glass throughout that room. So we had no electricity then, and the wind was howling, especially in my room.
The wind was blowing really hard, and it lasted like a couple hours.
Finally, I just fell asleep. I didn't sleep in my bed because I was afraid, because my bed was next to a window, and I was afraid that glass was going to blow in, so I basically made a bed under my bed and slept there for the night.
And then after that, we didn't have any electricity for 10 days, and we had a lot of camping equipment, so we used our camping equipment, and we heated water in a tub out in the backyard, and we used to get a bucket full of water out of the ditch in front of our house and pour to flush the toilet.
when we wanted to use the bathroom, some of the kids were afraid. Because you go in there, the wind was blowing so hard that somewhere it caused the suction, that the water in the bowl, the toilet bowl, would actually be being sucked down under. And then it would come back up real fast, just like a tide going in and out. And it would make this real loud noise when it did it. We woke up the next day. None of our lines were down, but we had no electricity. All of our trees were up. In fact, you couldn't really see any damage around our place. So we started walking around, driving around, and parents drove us around, and then you could really see the damage. My grandfather, who was visiting from Minnesota, had an apartment, was renting an apartment, because he was spending the summer and fall. He was going to stay till Christmas. He was in Salem, so we went to find him. And it took us nearly 3 hours just to maneuver through Salem, downtown Salem, to reach him because of all the fallen trees and poles. After the storm, school was canceled for several days. And when I finally went back, we were told that we wouldn't be going back to Lake LaBiche because the building was damaged. So we had to be bused to another school, and that lasted for over a month. We were bused to a school downtown Salem. When we finally were allowed back to Lake LaBiche, it wasn't ready yet for us to occupy, but they allowed us to go back to pick up personal belongings. I walked into my classroom and I noticed my desk was flat, completely flat, just smashed. So I asked the janitor who happened to be there, I said, well, what happened to my desk? And he explained, Lake LaBiche had this brick chimney, which was like 20 feet tall. And when the storm hit, it blew the chimney down and landed right on my desk. Now, I wasn't there that day because I was sick. Yes, but if I were there, I would have been under those bricks.